Mr. Speaker, I yield myself such time as I might consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
And I would like to insert in the record an exchange of letters between the Committee on Transportation Infrastructure and the Committee on Ways and Means.
Without objection.
And Mr. Speaker, for the third consecutive Congress, we're working to pass a long-term reauthorization of the FAA. This year, both the House and Senate passed their own reauthorizations, but unfortunately, negotiations with the Senate have slowed, and it's necessary for us to pass another extension to enable the FAA to continue to operate. This bill is a short-term extension of FAA funding and programs through September 16th at current levels. This extension also includes important reforms to the Essential Air Service program. These reforms could result in as much as $20 million in savings for the American taxpayer. The first reform provision was adopted unanimously by the Senate and is included in its reauthorization bill. And that provides that only airports that are 90 miles or more away from a large or medium hub airport would be eligible to participate in the Essential Air Service. 90 miles away. People can obviously, and in most instances, would prefer to drive 90 miles rather than taking a connecting flight. It seemed like a sensible thing. We hadn't thought of it when we passed our original legislation. The Senate did, and we are including their reform in this, so we're in effect acceding to the Senate. In the case of one airport under the current program, which is within 90 miles, we're paying a per-passenger subsidy of $851, and the nearest hub, as I said, is 82 miles away. That's $10 per mile subsidy. So the second provision in this dealing with Essential Air Service caps the subsidies for each passenger, federal subsidies, in addition to the fares they pay, at $1,000. During this economically difficult time, it's not possible to justify using taxpayer dollars to pay for a subsidy of $1,000 per passenger at an Essential Air Service airport, and subsidies can frequently exceed that amount. If there are any difficulties with that, there's other language that would allow the executive branch to waive this, this provision. The EAA provisions included in the extension are limited and sensible reforms that target the most indefensible of the subsidies. If we can't do this, what can we do, especially after 23 or 24 extensions that have been holding the whole program and the efficiency of improvements in the air infrastructure of our country hostage? The House-passed bill actually phases out the Essential Air Service program for all but Alaska and Hawaii. So we're not insisting on that at all. We're modifying that and going along with largely what the Senate itself has been suggesting in this regard. So these provisions are a compromise, and ESA will continue to be discussed as we work to finalize the bill. As Congress tries to find a way forward to address deficit and long-term debt issues, if we can't put an end to these extravagant subsidies, then we'll never be able to rein in spending where really hard decisions are necessary. While I continue to hold out hope that we'll reach a compromise with the Senate in the near future, it's necessary to pass this extension to provide the FAA with continuing authority and provide needed ESA reform. Ultimately, we must get back to the negotiating table to work out a long-term FAA bill. Short-term extensions are not the right way to run such an important agency, so I'd urge my colleagues to support the resolution and reserve the balance of my time.